Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is really exciting because today I'm going to show you a brand that I'm sure you have not seen anywhere else. Yeah, so welcome to my channel because this is what's happening here. I'm showing you small little indie brands that need a platform and that I definitely want to try. So today I'm going to show you this palette from Froggi Cosmetics. Now I received this by the kindness of Christine, who is my friend and subscriber from Australia, and I spoke about this palette, which I'm going to show you in just a second. I spoke about this palette in my new makeup releases, and like 2 days later Christine contacted me and was like, do you remember the Froggi Cosmetics palette? And I said yes, because every time she asks something like this, it's like, yeah, it's on the way. Okay, so anyway, this is the Rainforest palette from Froggi Cosmetics, and of course it was on the way when Christine asked me. So I'm so grateful. It's a very cute palette, jewel tones, some neutrals, and of course a whole row of pressed glitters, which is right here, which we are going to also use today. And that is so exciting. And also when I received this, it was so sweet. It was a personal note from the owner in it. So cute. And you know why it is called Froggi Cosmetics? It is because the owner has a pet frog. A pet frog. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the frog, but anyway, so that is so cool, because I was wondering, why is it called Froggi Cosmetics? Who has an idea like that? You know, it is because the owner has a pet frog. This is how I understand it. Okay, so this is the Rainforest palette. It comes in a sleeve that is very similar to the palette, and then you do have the ingredients on the sleeve. Okay, so that is it. Let's put that to the side. And yeah, I almost forgot, because if you're new here and you just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist, and I am very much into color, into small indie brands, into colorful styling, colorful makeup, and all of that and so much more. And if you're up for that, then please watch till the end of the video, because there you're going to see me come back in my full-fledged styling and with the finished look, because this is just pajama time, because I'm filming at like 4 in the morning. Okay, so that is why we are more relaxed and more toned down right now. But of course later for the review part I'm going to come back. Also later in the video you're going to see this palette swatched out right before the review part. And of course I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you like it here, then please feel free to do so. That would be just great. Also, you find my links to social media in the description box, because this is where they are. This is where I keep them safe. Okay? So yeah, so you can check out all the other things that I'm doing on and off camera. Okay, so now that you're zoomed in and I've moved my mirror in the right position. Look at this, like really. Okay, so anyway, I do still have some staining on my eye from a look that I did yesterday, but never mind that. It does not bother me at all. And I'm going to, of course, do one look, like one eye on camera. Wow. Okay, so now let's go into this and see what I want to do. I think I definitely want to do a look that is like teal, kind of teal, and then also using this pressed glitter, which it looks like it is a shifty situation, you know, because I think in the camera now you see it as a pure green, but when I look at it from the side, it actually has the characteristics of this shade too, you know, and honestly it also has some purple in it. So this is a very cool shade that I definitely want to have on my eye. Also, this here is a little bit shifty. It has all kinds of flecks of different things in it, and this looks like it is a pure solid color, you know. So anyway, that is that. And now we're just gonna go in, and as always I'm going to talk to you about something, sweeties. Okay. I'm going to start with the personal story that the whole thing is based on, and then if I'm really lucky and can get my brain to work, because it's so early, I'm going to maybe try to spin it off and make it a little bit more general. Okay, so first off, this goes on super well. Pigmentation is insane, kinda. So let's see how we're gonna be able to blend this out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to place this first of all the way through my crease, and I think I want to have this glitter all over my lid, and just sort of, I think this might even be all I do for above my eyes, you know, and I might use those two pressed glitters, the two shifty ones. We shall see. maybe kind of like a halo eye something situation, but we shall see. Usually I do put shimmer shades under my pressed glitters, so today we'll have to, of course, use something else. We'll have to use one of the matte shades. And I might even go to one of the neutrals, because I don't really think that I want to use these shades here for under the glitter, so we shall see. Anyway, for now I'm just placing this here deep into the crease, and then I'm probably going to have to work some time to blend this out, because I mean, I think you can see that this is like really intense, you know, but they feel really nice and smooth, and for now we shall have to work like that. Okay, sweeties, let us talk about something that just happened to me just a couple days ago when I'm filming this. Okay, so this is another synagogue story. If you don't know, I'm Jewish. Okay, so I was in the synagogue, I think, was that last week or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't even remember anymore. So it doesn't matter, it was just recently, okay? And there was a celebration for graduates on in the synagogue, for all the young people who graduated this summer now, you know, from school, from, what is it, high school? Graduated from high school, I think. All right, so anyway, I was there sitting in the audience basically, and after the service we all kind of moved out and into the courtyard, or into the yard, I guess, I don't know how to say all these things, in front of the synagogue, where they had put up tables for like snacks and drinks and stuff like that. Okay, so while all of the women, because I was sitting in the women's section, we are sitting separately from, like, the men sit separately and the women sit separately. So while we women sort of shuffled out of the women's section, people talk to me, because, you know, I'm one of the veterans in the synagogue there. I've been there for a long time, and kind of, you know, we're senior members of the synagogue. Let's put it that way. Not because we're incredibly important, just because we've been there forever, you know. So wait, let me just go in with a bit of a more fluffy brush, because the first one was more like a packing brush, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful now, because of blending out purposes, but I think this is going to work, what I'm thinking. Alright, so anyway, I'm also going to use my bone color matte. If you see me go in with something else, it's going to be my bone color matte. Or maybe I could take maybe one of those shades here, okay? Alright, so anyway. So, so these women walked by me basically because I still had to pack up the prayer books and stuff, because all my kids sit with me and they leave all their prayer books at some point, and then they go and play. Because services are really long, and at some point I just tell them, like, you know, after an hour or so, I let them go and play, because they're still kids, you know. So they leave their prayer books with me, and that's why I was like, okay, so I'm going to be the donkey who brings home all the books. All right, so I was packing them up, and these women walked by me, and everybody was like greeting me. Not everybody, but like a lot of people were greeting me. A lot of people know me back from when my husband and I got married. They danced at our wedding, and you know, it's that kind of a relationship. And one of the women that walked by me, she actually congratulated me on the graduation of my son. And happens that there was another child, or another teenager, whose name was Goldberg, whose last name was Goldberg, who graduated. And I was like, yeah, thank you, but it's not mine. You know, I don't have children that are that old, you know, because my oldest one just turned 14, and I'm not, you know, that old. Okay, so anyway, and then she said something, and of course she meant well and everything, and there's nothing wrong about what she said. It just resonated differently in me than maybe what you would think, okay? And then she sort of said something like, yeah, I knew you're Mrs. Perfect, but that you couldn't have pulled off, you know, because basically that child was born before I got married. Okay, so she's right, I couldn't have pulled that off. but the thing was that people see me as Mrs. Perfect, you know? And I'm like, why? Why can't you see me for who I am? And this might be so strange for you, because you might think, well, girl, be so grateful. Be so grateful that people see you as this perfect creature, you know, that is always styled, and whose kids are sitting next to her in prayer and behave well, and all of these things, you know. And that's another thing where people constantly comment on that my kids behave so well during the prayers and everything, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I taught them how to sit, you know. There is no big achievement in this. There is not, you know. It's just that they sit. That's it. Okay, so I don't feel that this is special. It's not. Maybe in today's society we have started to be grateful for even smaller achievements, because we let things go a little bit out of hand, I think, sometimes. But there's no big achievement in making your children sit. I mean, they learn that when they're like, I don't know, before they can walk, they learn how to sit. So there is no big deal, you know. And I know that my kids are probably the only ones who sit in the synagogue for the time that they do and don't disturb and don't whatever, you know. And the older ones who know how to read, they already pray with us in the prayer books. And the other ones, they just hold them for the sake of, you know, imitating the older ones. So that's basically all. That's the stage in the whole game that we're on right now, okay? So I don't know if this is interesting to anyone. I'm just saying that this whole thing of people always see me as this perfect creature, and I don't know why. There is nothing I do to promote this, you know, that, like, at least not how much, what I can tell, there is nothing I do to promote this, that I am that person at all. Wait, let me go into this shade that you can't see, this one here, and let's place this here. I have a bit of a trouble blending this shade out, because of course it is super blendable, but it is of course a very, very dark shade, and maybe I should have put a transition shade on before, but there is no transition shade really in this palette. You only have basically those neutrals. Okay, so I might have to pull in something else in order to have a look that is blended to an extent that I like it. Okay, so anyway, I think just that there is a danger in this, you know, and it's not super like, you know, I don't want to make this into a bad thing. It's not, you know, but there is a danger in putting people on a pedestal. First of all, I don't want to be on a pedestal. I make, to the contrary, I make a point of always pointing out my troubles and my issues, right? I do. But I also see that there are certain things in people's lives that are absolutely no issue for me, and there are issues for them. So, of course, we all have role models. I have role models too, you know, and all of that, it's all fine. But I would love it if people could just see me as a normal person, as that person who is one of them, you know. And I think that is a very, very normal thing for humans to want to be part of a group. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but maybe you would, I don't know. But as a result of this, that I'm always kind of portrayed as this superhuman who runs the show in her big family, and, you know, who does all these things, I'm always alone. Because women don't really connect to me. I mean, here on this platform, yes, but like in real life, I don't have really friends. I'm trying to, you know. I also don't have a lot of time because I'm working so hard. So I'm not really, you know, I don't have a lot of time to like spend on like going out with friends and stuff like that. But beyond that, I just feel like I'm always alone. You know, when all these women then gathered outside after this whole incident, you know, when they had the snacks and everything, all these women were talking to each other and like whatever, you know, having exchanges and whatever. And I am always alone. You know, they come by and say how amazing I am, and then they go. But nobody talks to me about, well, my kid had fever last night and it was really, really rough. Nobody talks to me about normal stuff, because I think, or I fear, that people are incredibly intimidated by me, you know? And I really I'm sad about that. You know, I'm really sad about that, because I want to be part of the group. I totally do, you know. So yeah, so that is basically what I wanted to share, and kind of wanted to make like one last statement of, people don't think I'm perfect, please. Please. You know, don't be intimidated by me. It's like, you know, I can see it though. I can see it, I understand it, but we'll just all have to get over it, you know, because it's just what I do for a living, is that I'm dressing up and that I'm styled and all of these things, you know. It is my job. It is my job and my passion, yes, and I'm very grateful that I managed to, or I was blessed enough to turn my passion into a business. But beyond that, I'm still a normal person that gets up in this completely you know, has how does one say that, like pillow marks pressed in her face when she wakes up. And you know, I'm just as messy, my hair stands in all directions, and all of these things, you know, just like you. Okay, that is that. I need to very quickly put on now. I need to put on that glitter. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those, I'm going to take the other shade now, the other neutral shade now, and just sort of set my eyeshadow base with that. Just like really quick. And really, I would like it if there would be some shimmer shades, but you know, it kind of makes sense, because a lot of people then would probably complain you don't need shimmer shades and also at the same time pressed glitter. So you know, I think it is very hard for a brand owner to make it right for everybody. So let's see how that formula is of the pressed glitter, and then I will let you know, because I do know a thing or two about pressed glitters. Okay, so the formula feels a little bit drier on the first, like on the first touch, basically. So let me just put this on here. Yeah, it is a little bit drier. I'm going to put it also in the inner corner, and then maybe in the, you see it's crumbling a little bit here, but we shall see. It doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just this is just another texture, you know, another formula of a binder. The color is really lovely, and it is also picking up nicely. I'm going to pack it on more, because now I would like it if there would be like a green or something underneath, or even a white shimmer shade or something like this. Then I wouldn't have to pack it on so much, but I'm going to do that in order to like gain more opacity. But I think it is going to be like a really nice and dreamy, magical look. Now, I have not been to a rainforest, so I don't know exactly what the color scheme there would be if I'm performing right, considering that. But I do know that it is a very colorful place. So that of course is true. Okay, so and I also know that this area here is not really blended out. I'm going to have to maybe pull in something else while I'm off camera. All right, so that is how it looks, and I'm going to now take a bit of a smaller brush maybe. And now I'm going to put on that white pressed glitter and put it right here. Alright, so that, I think that looks good. That looks really good. And I'm still going to, of course, go back and forth between those two shades and kind of try to blend them as much as one can blend pressed glitters. This could actually also work really well if you were to do like really from the get-go like a cut crease situation or something like this. I'm kind of mimicking this or something like that. Is that the right word? Mimicking. I think so. You know, I could have like taken whatever base and then just carve out this whole area, but even without it, it works really well like that. Yeah, so they blend really, really well into each other, I have to say. That is super, super nice. I think I'm going to still pack on a little bit more of the green on the sides, but overall I think this is basically how I'm going to leave it. And of course I'm going to still work on the blend here a little bit, but yeah, that is that. So I'm going to come back with the swatches and of course with my finished look and the finished styling and kind of a mini review on this palette, so stay tuned for all of that. Okay, my lovelies, here we are with the finished look and the finished styling, and this is how it turned out. Okay, I think the overall result I think is really, really cool. Also with the lighter style, color-wise, of my clothing, which of course you see very little of right now, but that is what social media is for. So yeah, check out the links. Anyway, together with that and then the very bold makeup, I think that is really, really cool. Yeah, so let me zoom you in so you can have a closer look. And of course, as always, I'm going to tell you in just a second what I did to finish the look. All right. And if you're wondering what else I have on my face, of course, that will all be listed in the description box as well. Okay, in order to finish the look, let me just open the palette again. I actually did put a black on my waterline, and then I have this one here right under my waterline. I backed it up very, very close to the lash line with this one. And how did I blend it out? I think I just used one of those shades to blend it out. And in my inner corner, I actually have the Moonchild Glow Kit, which I also used as my face highlighter. So I don't remember what I did. I think this one I have as my face highlighter, and this one I have in my inner corner. So anyway, that is basically how I finished the look. And oh, one more thing towards the outer corner here of my under eye area, I also dabbed some of this pressed glitter on this shade basically. Okay, so that I almost forgot, so sorry. Okay, so basically that is how the look turned out. I did use a lot of the shades. Basically I did try everything except this shade. You know, these I used for blending out, and all of the other shades I used, some of them more, some of them less, but you know, I used them. Okay, so let's talk about the performance. I know that in the application part of the video, I told you that the pressed glitter was a little bit crumbly. It did get better for the second eye. So again, I think it was that kind of a case where you just have this top layer that you have to get through. Overall, I have to say that the formula of the binder is not the most smoothest one, but it is good, it's workable, and you can see there is no creasing, there is no problem with it. It is just that not maybe the most smooth, I don't know how to say that in proper English, in application. Okay, but you can also see all of this is here, of course, on a bare arm. There is nothing underneath, and you can see that it applied absolutely opaque and really, really nice. You just have to push it on a little bit more, but that's okay. I mean, we're doing makeup here. It's not rocket science. Okay, so that is how they look. This green one here has a bit of a blue purple shift also to it. This white one, it has a white base, but it kind of also has like a golden orange shift to it. And this one, as I already told you, looks like a solid color, you know, like a maroon kind of a color. You know, all of them work really, really well. This one seems to be a tiny little bit more coarsely milled, and then the green one and the white one a little bit more finely milled, but I could be wrong. And if there's a difference, it's really, really slight. Okay, then we of course have all those mattes. Now, I think the obvious question is, what about those bone color mattes here? Now, for me, they made a lot of sense, because especially this one here, the one that is a tiny little bit lighter, is of course super, super workable for me. I would like to, honestly, I would like to talk with the owner and just ask, what is the backstory of this? You know, I would probably have done the following. I would have kept this one, because it is super, super important to have something like this, especially when you're my skin tone, you know, because that helps you with blending out these ones, because they're super pigmented, as you probably saw. I mean, you know, you need something to blend those shades out with. But I would probably have changed this into like a lighter blue or something, because with a lighter blue, you could blend out all of these shades. you know? So that's what I would have done, but I'm sure there must be a reason why these two shades are here. Okay, so this one is a little bit lighter. This one is a little bit darker. It has a little bit of like an orangey hint to it. So that's the difference. And besides that, yeah, the brown I didn't use in the look, but it also swatched super well and is a nice warm brown. Okay, so here you have the color scheme, and let's also talk about the palette. It comes in a sleeve. I already showed you that in the beginning, I do believe. For me, it's already hours ago, so it's hard for me to remember. Okay, so you do have the sleeve. It is almost, it's almost the same. It's because of my nails. It's hard to grab stuff. You have the ingredients on the sleeve, and then here you do have the palette. I think the concept is super, super sweet. Also, to name your brand after your pet is so cool. You know, I could call my brand Rescue Cat Cosmetics. Or something like that, or Oreo Cosmetics, because that's the name of my rescue cat. But you know, doesn't matter. So this is super, super cute. You have this holographic packaging, and also here this kind of a froggy thing. You know, that's so cute. To have a pet frog. I never thought about that. That's so cool. You know, it's really cool. Okay, as always, it looks really, really beaten up because I have swatched it, you know? As always, we've gone through war together, and here you see the palette. You do not have shade names, but you do have a nice size mirror, you know? So I think overall this is a very, very nice release, and I think the performance was really, really good, especially of the mattes, and everything else was also very, very solid. The only question for me personally is those two shades, really. You know, that is my only question, but there must be an answer, because I don't think... Why shouldn't there be an answer? There's always, for everything there's an answer, okay? So anyway, that is what it is. I'm really, really thrilled that I got to introduce this brand to you and give this brand some exposure. And please feel free to check it out. Of course, it's going to be linked in the description box down below. And again, my warmest thank yous to Christine, who provided this palette for me. And I'm so, so grateful, because that is what I want to do. As you know my heart. I want to be here and feature the brands that don't get featured much or at all, you know? Doesn't give me a lot of views. It will not make my channel grow, but it makes me happy, you know? And that's what I'm doing here. Okay, sweeties, as I already told you, you will have all the links to my social media, all my discount codes with different brands, and of course, everything I have on my face down in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, because that would be awesome, you know? And besides that, of course, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, because I would definitely love to hear from you. And also, maybe if you have tried this brand, if you're planning to try it. And I don't know, I think this was the first palette she came out with, but I could be wrong, you know? But feel free to check. Maybe she has more things to offer by now. So that would be great, and it would be an amazing way to support a small indie brand, you know, because they all deserve our love and our support. Okay, sweeties, that is it from me for today. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I shall see you here for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.